Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the new Pokemon news that we got from E3. We didn't get quite as much as last week. That was a full direct on Pokemon, so it's to be expected that we didn't get quite as much. But we did get a good few nuggets here and there. Some new Pokemon, a new character, another kind of look at the world at large in the Galar region, and some really just interesting stuff. So first off, I'm going to talk about the brand new Water-type gym leader. She is named Nessa. She is, again, like I said, the Water-type gym leader. Apparently, she's super competitive despite having a calm nature, which, honestly, you could say that about any and all gym leaders. They're all competitive. Otherwise, they wouldn't be gym leaders. Apparently, at least for the demo, because they had a demo, her main Pokemon that she Dynamaxes is Dreadnought. I'm wondering if that changes. A lot of people are being like, oh, well, she must be like the second gym leader because her Pokemon were at this level and she only had like 2 of them. I feel like that's probably going to change. Clearly, they are able to strip things out or change things for these demos and these trailers. So we shall see. Overall, I really, really like her design. I think she's sporty, she's cool looking. I think she'll be a really awesome character to have in the game. I like her hair. It's a dark blue as whatever. And then she's got like these highlight, like bright, not bright, but like more aqua looking blues in her hair. I really like her design overall. Now, as I mentioned, they did have a demo at E3, or they still do because it's currently going on, and it's basically the Water-type gym, and we get a good look at basically how, well, I mean, it's basically just a regular gym. There is a puzzle, and you make your way all the way to the back for the gym leader battle. For the Water-type gym, it seems like they've got this pipe system kind of going on, and you have to make your way across these like ramp grate things, like these bridges, and you have to turn off the pipes because they're spewing water down to block your path, and you gotta, in between each battle with the gym trainers, you gotta hit these switches that look like Pokeballs, and yeah, you just gotta basically make your way past there. It's a pretty standard gym puzzle, if you ask me. But based on what I saw, the game looks really good. It just looks really nice overall. I don't know how else I can explain it. I didn't see, obviously I'm not there. I can't tell you, I can't tell you from my own point of view, only from videos that I saw people playing the demo. But it looks overall pretty nice, the gym, and apparently it just plays pretty decently, which is to be expected. Also, with Nessa's reveal, it's another point of credit towards that 4chan leak that basically got Hop correct, it got Dynamax correct, it got a bunch of stuff correct, and now it's getting Nessa correct. Clearly, there's everything. Clearly, it's got a ton correct, and honestly, I'd be very surprised if any of it ended up being fake. So, a lot of really exciting things coming our way, only just to be revealed at some point. Moving on to some more miscellaneous things, a screenshot of Grookey's new move was found prior to its proper reveal at E3, but now we know its English name, and that is Branch Poke, and it's basically just Grookey hitting somebody with a stick, which is totes adorable. Next up, we got a look at some of the wireless features, the multiplayer stuff, and it seems like when you have the wireless stuff on, which is indicated by the YCOM button we saw on the lower left-hand corner, and when you have it on, it'll kind of pop up these little like square things that show what other friends are doing in Pokemon, whether they want to trade with you or battle with you, and all that stuff. So it's basically like in a sense, it's basically like a smaller PSS, whatever it was called from the Gen 6 games. But it's basically all the Wi-Fi functions. In addition to that, we got a deeper look into the Dynamax mechanic, and because they demoed it at the Nintendo Treehouse, and we got a few more things shown about it, or at least explained. So first of all, any trainer that goes into this can Dynamax, and we already kind of knew that, but apparently every turn it rotates whoever can do it, so it might start with the far right trainer, and then the next turn it'll pop up on the screen of the middle trainer or whatever, and it'll keep rotating until somebody uses it. And they see, here's the thing. So they made it seem like you could play with just anybody online. Maybe some randoms. They didn't really explain how the online functions that are not with your direct friends work. So I'm a little worried that it'll be the kind of thing where it's like you hop in, people pop into the Dynamax raid, and then somebody just pops it on everybody else, and there's no real order to it. Because it seemed like anybody could pop it once it popped up on their screen. I think Masuda popped it at the Treehouse Live demo, but he asked to use it. Clearly, they're just going to do whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like it could be chaos, unless you're playing with your friends or with people that you trust. I don't know. I guess we'll just find out. In addition to that, in the Max Raid battles, we learned that the giant boss Pokemon can actually take multiple turns in one go, or attack twice, or use different moves twice. So it seems like there's some kind of real shenanigans going on with that make it much tougher than the average foe. Also, apparently max moves, the moves that Pokemon use when they're all Dynamaxed out, can actually cause kind of field changes. So at one point, this boss Steelix used the ground type max move, and it caused kind of a sandstorm kind of effect. And when Masuda's Arcanine used a max flare, I think it was called, or the max fire type move, it ended up making a sunny day or a sunlight effect. So there's definitely some different effects, and it turns out in the wild area, depending on what kind of weather is going on, it'll affect the battle even more so than normal weather effects. So obviously hail does hail, like when it's snowing, it's hailing, whatever in battle. But apparently when it's raining and also thundering and lightning in the wild area, it'll kind of have different effects with the lightning and boost both electric types and water types, in addition to just obviously just normal whatever weather effects. So that's super cool. Moving back to the Dynamax stuff though, it turns out that once you whittle down the boss Pokemon's health to about halfway, a new barrier shows up around it, and you have to crack that barrier before you can start hurting it again. So that makes this really tough, and it makes it even tougher knowing that apparently the max raid battles only last 10 turns, and granted that's like 4 Pokemon at once where you're attacking, and one of them would be presumably a Dynamaxed out Pokemon at some point. So it can be done, but 10 turns is not always a lot, and if the Pokemon's really giving you a hard time, could be really tricky, especially with that shield popping up halfway through the battle. So I think that Dynamax and raid battles and whatnot will really pull in the competitive players, because I think it'll be tough and a little bit more challenging to trainers that have maybe felt the games have been a little easier lately, which they've always been easy, but whatever. Either way, I think it's a really cool feature. Also, apparently, at the end of the max raid battles, presuming that you defeat the Pokemon, and you defeat them, you don't actually have a chance to catch them until after their health bar drops to 0. So everybody apparently gets a chance to catch it, just like a raid battle in Pokemon Go, where it's like once you defeat the Pokemon, everybody gets a chance. But apparently not everybody might catch it. I suppose maybe the catch rates are a little skewed and a little harder. But we've been assured that even if you don't catch it, there are still some benefits to doing the max raid battles and trying it out for yourself. Apparently, the Pokeball Plus can be linked up with Pokemon Sword and Shield. It cannot be used as a controller, which is obvious because that's standard 2-stick, you need both Joy-Cons kind of game, but it can be used in a similar function to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where you take your Pokemon on the go. They use Grookey as an example. So presumably there will be some features that you can collect items or whatnot, and it'll be kind of like a Pokewalker that came with the Pokemon Heart Gold and Silver, where maybe your Grookey brings back items that you can use in Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's a cool feature. I mean, it is what it is. It's a whatever, $60 thing, if not more. I forget. But I don't know. I think it's a cool feature. Also, apparently, when you link it up to Sword and Shield, you get Mew for this game too. So, whatever. You know what? It's fine. It's a weird thing to do for that game, but I guess maybe it's their way of trying to get people that maybe. I mean, is there an audience for people that bought the Pokeball Plus but didn't buy Pokemon Let's Go in any fashion? It's I don't know. Weird. One thing I want to bring up real quick, it's more of a speculation than anything, but it seems like the box is available anywhere you want. Again, like Pokemon Let's Go. It's hard to say if it's for sure, because it was in the context of the max raid battles. When you go into the max raid battles, you're able to access your box, and essentially just kind of bring in whatever Pokemon you want and select what you want, since you can only have one Pokemon in the max raid battle, so they give you an access to the wider variety of Pokemon that you might have. So I don't know if that's just a max raid battle specific thing, or whether you can access it wherever, or maybe just in the wilds. I don't know, but hopefully it's a function again. I really liked having my box wherever I wanted to be, and I didn't have to go back to Pokemon centers. Now, the final thing I'm going to really talk about, the final bullet point anyways, is the brand new Pokemon. When they talked about it in the Direct, they didn't mention any brand new Pokemon. When they talked about it in the Treehouse Live, they didn't mention any Pokemon. And then we're all sitting here thinking, what the heck? They didn't even want to show us at least one brand new Pokemon. We got Nessa, but she didn't have anything. So we all kind of threw in the towel until people started going to the live demo at the actual E3 floor, and it turns out there were 2 brand new Pokemon in the demo, and you as a player got to use one of them, and then there was an NPC that used the other. So first of all, let's just start off with the brand new, awesomely cute Corgi Pokemon, Yamper, which, by the way, is another point of credit towards that Pokemon rumor from 4chan, so I guess it's just going to be real now. Anyways, it is an electric type, and it is the cutest thing in the world. It is a little Corgi Pokemon. Honestly, if we didn't get a Corgi Pokemon in a region based off of the UK, I would be really, really surprised, and now we have one. It has a new ability called Ball Fetch, which is very specific to it as a dog. Apparently, if you're trying to catch it and you throw the Pokeball and it breaks out, assuming it does not already have an item on it, it will essentially pick up that Pokeball that failed, and then you'll get that Pokeball back. Assuming you can catch it, the next ball anyways. So that's just kind of a cute and funny little ability for it. Obviously, it doesn't really have any function after you catch the Pokemon, but it's a cool little function. I wonder if it evolves. There's that silhouette of the fast-looking dog thing that kind of has a lightning bolt tail thing, and Yamper has a lightning bolt tail, so maybe it evolves into a fast thingamajig, and it gets a new ability that's a bit more feasible for battle. I don't know, but it's a super cute Pokemon, and I love it. The other Pokemon that we had revealed in the demo was a Pokemon called Impidimp, which is a really funny name to say. Impidimp, Impidimp, Impidimp. And it is a dark fairy type, and it looks that. Dark is kind of a given because it's an imp, and it's kind of looks like a dark type Pokemon. But I was hoping that it would be fairy because imps are kind of a mythical creature, and I feel like fairy type could encompass mythical creatures. And I was right. So I'm really happy about that. Other than that, we don't know anything else. Since it was a NPC's Pokemon rather than your own, there's no real stats on it. We don't know anything really else other than its typing. So hopefully we'll get reveals officially for both Yamper and Impidimp real soon. I imagine that we'll get another trailer sometime in the next few weeks, at least next month in July. They kind of did that for Sun and Moon, where they had all of the June stuff, like the E3 and whatever stuff. And then, well, it technically leaked, but they had a trailer that was slated for like the first couple of days of July, and we got even more new Pokemon, and we got official reveals of the other Pokemon and whatnot. So hopefully they'll do that again. Oh, one more thing that I totally forgot to talk about when I was talking about the Max Raid stuff in the Pokemon Wilds, you can do some sort of multiplayer thing where you bring people in to your game. And we don't know the specifics. They might not be able to interact with anything at all other than the max raid battle stuff with you, and other than apparently giving you items. One thing they showed was that they had Masuda jump into the game that was being demoed by the one guy that they just have from Nintendo, and Masuda gave that guy a sack of potatoes or something, because I don't know, whatever, sack of potatoes, which is labeled as an ingredient. So there's definitely going to be some kind of cooking, I think, in this game. So that's another cool, interesting little tidbit that I'm just now remembering. Either way, it seems like you can bring at least 3 other players into your game, and I'm wondering if maybe they can interact with the Pokemon, or if they can kind of, since the wild area is so big, I wonder how far away they can get from you. There's still a lot that we need to know about this game, and it's just looking so great. It looks great. The wild area is massive. The just overall region is massive from whatever we saw in the trailers. I am super stoked. The Pokemon look awesome. I am so excited for this game, and I want to get my hands on it ASAP. Those are all the things that I can think of that we got at E3 so far. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Let me know what you guys think about all of this stuff down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you can get all notifications when I upload. That's all I got to say. I will see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.